moneymakers, welcome back to the channel. I have some great updates to share for ILUS because they have announced just before a couple of hours that they're expecting an exceptional fourth quarter. With that, they have given us the hint that their Q3 was really great as well. Take a look what they're trying to tell us here. So I'll be covering the recent tweet as to what they're trying to share with us. We'll also talk about why ILUS is not rising up in terms of the stock price point, because there is some of the mismatch that we are seeing, not just for ILUS, for many other stocks including Tesla and NIO, given that the data and the market, they do not really match with what the companies do in general. So I'll be explaining that in more details as well. So we'll be looking into the recent tweet. We'll also talk about their second shareholder meeting that is coming up in January. We are 3 months away from that, and that will bring us a lot of excitement, and hopefully before that we'll have the lot more clarity in terms of when they're going to get uplisted on Nasdaq in terms of ERT. We'll be also talking about what this revenue means for ILUS in general and what it means for the overall book of business. I'll be sharing all this in more details as well. They're also expecting to have the revenue over $140 million for the 2022 year, the year 2022 rather, and I'll be sharing that juicy and important information as well. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel because we need more than 250 likes and each of you subscribers on this channel, and I'll really appreciate the growth and your support for this channel. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It does not really cost you anything, and I will greatly appreciate the effort, and it is really great motivation for me to make more and more ILUS videos. At the end, we'll be looking into their balance sheet as well, how it looked like at the end of Q2 compared to 2021, and we'll be talking about what it can look like in Q3 2022 and even more by the end of the year 2022, because they have been doing super awesome in terms of their sales and their net income as well. They're one of a kind company into the OTC market, especially the penny stock. As you know that I only invest in profitable penny stocks. That means ILUS, CYBL, SIRC, so on and so forth. If you are landing onto this channel, that means you're looking further information as to how you can double, quadruple, or 10x get 10x return on your investment in the penny stock, into the OTC market, so on and so forth. So watch this video clearly and carefully up to the end so you can get more detail and information. I just also wanted to mention that I am not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence. This is not a buy or sell advice. So let's get into it. Watch the full video till the end so you can get an idea how you can 2x the money in ILUS and many other penny stocks that we talk on this channel. Now, one of the things that you want to notice right now, today's trading session, Nasdaq was down 0.68% or 75 points. As you can see, we are seeing a lot of turbulence into the stock market. As you can see, it's a zigzag pattern for today's trading session. For 5 days we are up 2.85%, but guess what? For 1 month, we are down 6%. 6 months, we are down 20%, which is massive. Year to date, we are down 30%, and 1 year, we are down 24%. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is we have seen so many up peaks and valleys. If you take a look right here, we were at almost 16,000 points, and we dropped once again to 13,352, got back up to 14,490, and then we got back down to a newer low of 12,581. So 12,581 was a newer low, and we went back up once again 14,442 in the hope that that will be rebound. But it did not really happen, and we were down once again in June to 11,000, and we created another lower low of 10,737. Now we are started getting back up, and we'll see where it goes. However, it is no different pattern for ILUS as well, because as you can see that small cap stocks, especially the stocks that are on OTC market, they follow the larger market pattern and they get hammered the most. That also means that when market rebounds, they can go 2x, 3x, 5x rapidly than many other large cap stocks. ILUS was down 13 to 14% in last 5 days. For 1 month, we are up 14.29%. However, for 6 months, we are down 42%. Year to date, we are down 75%, which is a massive downtrend. However, what has changed is the fundamental in the market sentiment, not really the fundamental into the company as ILUS. What ILUS has done as growth is merger and acquisition left and right. They have been acquiring companies over and over and over again. Strong start to the fourth quarter of ILUS with the exceptional record revenue expected in Q4. Their Form 10 is about to be filed and plans are being made to announce the date and location of the second annual shareholder meeting in January 2023. When we hear back again about annual shareholder meeting, you want to notice that there will be a lot of momentum in terms, not only in terms of the market stock price point, but also for the volume, because it'll get a lot more visibility. What ILUS is doing in terms of the revenue is really remarkable, because with a strong Q3 resulting in further quarter-on-quarter growth for ILUS, we remain well on target, as ILUS mentioned, for $140 million in audited run rate revenue this year. That means a lot, because this is not unaudited revenue run rate, rather this is an audited revenue run rate. ILUS is talking about our assets are growing exponentially in the short term, which is really exciting. And when they talk about this, I really want to pull up this chart and this detail in front of you to share this information with you, because this is the report up until Q2 2022, where ILUS reported $19.6 million in terms of total income, sales, and ordinary income, where they had gross profit of 5.9 or 5.8 rather million US dollars. With the expense of 3.9 and total expense of 4.7, their net ordinary income was pretty positive, over $1 million, precisely 1.1 million US dollars, compared to what they have done in 2021. In 2021, they were about $500,000, precisely $544,000 for the quarter ending Q2 in 2021, and they have done tremendously more than double in the Q2 quarter for 2022. And I would not be surprised that this trend continues for the rest of 2022, and they can generate 10x return income in terms of what they have done in 2021. You also want to note that ILUS has been really focusing on their EBITDA, and their EBITDA in Q2 was 1.6 million, whereas their revenue was 19.6, which is an impressive EBITDA given that ILUS is growing at the moment. They are a very small company. They are still keeping current at the moment. We have seen some hiccups when they saw the yield sign on OTCMarket, but they were able to quickly fix as soon as possible. Now, super interesting thing for ILUS was ILUS confirmed that the second quarter of 2022 resulted in 553% in terms of the revenue, which is 5.5x, increasing this previous quarter to $19.7 million, which is impressive in my personal opinion. However, one of the challenge when you talk about pros and cons, you want to think about the float. By this time, I just wanted to ask you, if you haven't clicked the like button, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on many of my future videos, not only on ILUS, but CYBL, SIRC, and many other penny stocks and OTC stocks that I talk on this channel. The float is really a big concern for ILUS, where we are seeing 342 million stocks with the authorized shares of 2 billion and outstanding shares of 1.3 billion. ILUS's market cap of 108 million, which is pretty good in my opinion, given that they're a very small company, OTCMarket, and getting uplisted on Nasdaq via ERT, emergency response technology, very soon. So keep that in mind, that how the spin-off and sub-companies and subgroups are going to work for you. They are also going to come up with the share lockup period very soon. I'll make sure that I do my own due diligence and share this information with you when they announce specific dates and specific details about the share lockup period. However, you want to consider that the shareholders will be given an opportunity to lock up ILUS shares in preference category for 24 months. They can also choose as to how the opportunity for these shares to be converted in emergency response technology or ERT or any other ILUS subsidiary where it is legally possible. Further details including this consideration percentage, conversion for shares, information, and potential related benefits will be confirmed at the launch of the lockup period, and I'll make sure and I'll do my own due diligence to make sure that I share that information and relay this information with you. If you really want to check out, you can also check out on OTCMarket the disclosures that I shared with you as well. You can take a look at the news as well, and you can get your own due diligence done on your own, but I just wanted to share what I researched, where I research, and what you can do to research on your own as well. The last thing I want to leave you with, how ILUS is doing in terms of the trading volume during every trading session. So right here, their average volume is 9.2 million, whereas today's volume was just 595.9 million, which is almost half than their average volume, which is once again not a great sign. But you want to consider that the market overall was in red and it is still the bearish momentum, and we are worried about inflation, not only inflation, but the increasing rates by the Fed overall into the market. Whenever the Fed increases the rate, it is an adverse impact into the stock market and also for the shareholders. You want to really understand how the trading pattern is. We had seen that 497 million at the end of the September. In October, we started seeing that it ramped up in terms of the volume, 10 million, 17 million, and on October 5th, which was yesterday, we saw 10.8 million. However, today the volume dropped significantly, more or less 40 to 45% to 5.9 million, and the stock price was pretty stable between 7 and 8 cents. However, we saw 13 cents, pretty close to 13 cents, very recently in September, precisely on September 19, and we started dropping in terms of the price point, and we hit almost 7 cents. Can it go back and get double? Probably yes, but we need to wait for the market to rebound and ILUS to share some of the more juicy and important information that I do not have any doubts. But do not consider my words, do your own due diligence. I request you to not invest more than 5 to 10% of your entire portfolio in the penny stock, especially in OTC stocks, because they're super risky in nature. You can double, quadruple, 10x return, get the 10x return that you really want, but on the flip side, you can lose 50, 60, 70% as well. So do it wisely. You do not want to really wake up at night thinking about the loss that you made in some of the penny stock. You do not really deserve that. Take a look what is happening in terms of the RSI. We are seeing 43, which suggests not an overbought, not an oversold condition. However, if you take a look at their moving average, which is precisely right there with the real-time price point, which suggests still the bearish condition or the bearish momentum at the moment. We really want to see that the red line, which is the moving average, is below the real-time price point, which is when you can see that they started going into the positive direction, which also means that the cosine wave turns into the sine wave. Right now, you have seen that right here on my screen that the red line is below when we saw that in September, and it went precisely $12.20, and then it started dropping once again. I hope you like this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.